All right. Thank you, folks, for having me out here tonight. I have a question for you guys to start out. Who of you has siblings? Go ahead, raise your hands. Yeah, okay, most of you guys. That's to be expected. Now, raise your hand if you have just one sibling. Okay, you guys don't count. See, when you have just one sibling, mom and dad can easily fix everything, just by separating you two. Now, my parents, being both of them the middle of three children, had only one goal. They didn't care the gender of their children. They just wanted two. And so they gave birth to our oldest, Liam, and they gave birth to me, followed by the other two triplets. Being raised with four brothers is hard. It's a good thing I only have 5. People often ask, did your parents just want to have a girl, and so they kept trying? Again, they didn't care. They only wanted 2 kids, so I figured probably after they had us triplets, they figured we have 4 kids, what's one more? And then didn't like that one, so they had another one. Now, when they had us triplets, I don't know if they felt sad or mad that they had more than 2 kids, or perhaps they even felt glad. But them being the genius parents they are, named us Chad, Brad, and Thad. Now, granted, they named us Chadwick, Bradley, and Thaddeus, me. But they knew very well how we would be referenced. There's actually quite an age gap between us triplets and the other 2 younger brothers. You see, our oldest brother, Liam, is 21 years old. Us triplets are 19. And the next oldest is Corbin, who is 14 years old. That means there was a 5-year period of just us older brothers. And I gotta tell you, that was probably the best time of my life. Now, nothing against my younger brothers. They just suck. I mean, who here has a younger brother? At least one. You know that they suck. I love them dearly, but they're so lazy. They eat us out of house and home, they don't keep up on their chores, they backtalk mom and dad. They did a really good job following their older brother's example. Growing up with 5 brothers, we spent many trips to the hospital. I think one of our most memorable moments, and long-lasting one that we cannot forget, was the time in which we were to rewrite history. We were going to send man to the moon. We were going to launch a boy out of a cannon so he can fly across the yard. We were going to make a human slingshot and teach our brothers to fly. Now, this time, the youngest brother who would be able to do something like this was Corbin. He was 7 years old. Nosh, our youngest, was 6, and thus not able to fully comprehend what was going on. Now, neither was Corbin, but that's beside the point. So, there were 2 chains that hung down from our swing set that had a bar connecting them and 2 little triangles to hold on to underneath that. And so we tied a shoelace between the 2 triangles. Now, this might seem somewhat shabby, somewhat unthought through, dangerous. But don't worry, we planned this out very well. We got out the purple and the green crayon from our box and sketched out a little drawing of what it would look like. And we had angular trajectory and momentum planned in. Even though we had no idea what those words meant, we had watched enough Mythbusters to know that they were important. And we drew a picture of our brother with wings flying over the house. And, most importantly, we waited for it to be sunny. So, we told Corbin he would be the first man to walk on the moon, to fly across the house. He would be the human bird. He would be the embodiment of freedom and liberty, of all that the United States stands for. And needless to say, he agreed. So, he put the shoestring in his mouth, just behind his canines, and grabs onto the two little triangles where you hold on, and we all told him to let go. The nice thing about not being the oldest brother is that you don't have to tell Mom how bad the injury is. Once we got Corbin to stop screaming and made sure he was still semi-alive, the rest of us all ran to go see Mom, who was in the front yard mowing the lawn. Liam, being the oldest, taps on her shoulder. She turns around, and he says, "So, you know Corbin? Yeah. You know how his teeth are normally like this? They're not like that anymore. And we already checked it out, so he's probably fine. But we were just thinking, if you wanted to, that you might check it out and you might want to take him to the hospital." At which point, Corbin comes running through the house, screaming bloody murder, and dripping bloody murder, mind you, bursts through the front door, yelling, "Why'd I listen to Satan? Why'd I listen to Satan?" You can't make this up. At this point, our mother was very concerned and put him in the car and drove him straight to urgent care. Our father comes out of the door, looking around, and asks us what was going on. So naturally, we told him, well, Corbin wanted to learn how to fly. So our dad says, "Stupid! Why would you do that?" So I said, "I don't know, Dad. Why do dogs lift their legs to go pee? It's natural for a boy to want to fly." He takes a breath and nods and goes, "Yeah, I guess you're right. So which one of you is Satan?" To this day, we still don't know who he was referring to. And I suppose that sort of works to our advantage, because from then on, every time one of the brothers got injured, we could just blame it on the adversary. And Corbin's lisp has not gone away to this day. Thank you for having me, folks. It was a good evening.